Hi Stampers, this is Dawn and today we're going to make the double peekaboo gatefold card. And this is the front of the card. Then you open it and then you have these two gatefold parts of the card that have a little peekaboo window in them. And then you open it up and it reveals even more messages. And this one just happens to be a birthday card, which we are making a birthday card today, but we're using different designer paper. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here are the pieces we're going to use today. You're going to need a whole piece of Whisper White, and this is the 8.5 by 11. We're going to score and cut this together. And then the designer paper, I'm using the How Sweet It Is, and this is in the Occasions catalog. It's one of my top favorite designer papers. And you're going to need 8 pieces cut at 2.5 by 4. And then for the front panel, this piece of Costa Cabana is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And then this piece of Whisper White, which is cut at 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And then another piece of the How Sweet It Is designer paper, and this is cut at 1 3/4 by 4 7/8. Okay, so let's grab our paper trimmer. I'm going to score this in half at 4 1/4. Then we're going to turn it. Let me open up this arm here. We're going to score it at 2 3/4. Now you can turn the cardstock around and score the other end at 2 3/4 if you want, but I'm just going to scoot this down to 8 1/4. It's the same measurement. So 2 3/4 on both ends, or 2 3/4 and then 8 1/4. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and fold our score lines. Okay, so after we burnished our score lines, now we're going to grab our scissors, and I'm going to cut on these two score lines right here. So this is on the 8.5 inch side, and then we're going to cut on the 4 1/4 score line on both sides. And I'm also going to go ahead and miter both of the edges here. Just a little tiny bit. It just really helps make the card fold better together. That's all. Okay, so just a little tiny bit. And we're going to do the exact same thing on this side. Okay, so now this is going to be your gatefold part of your card. Okay, so you can see how it's going to come together now. All right, let's go ahead and grab our designer paper. We'll put adhesive on all those panels. I'm going to be using the polka dotted side, but the other side is really cute too. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip all these over. You're going to need 8 of these, so I'm just going to go ahead and speed this up while I put adhesive on all these panels here. Get that one out of the way. This is the front piece. Remember, this is the 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. So this is going to be layering right on the bottom of that Whisper White piece, just like that. Okay, so we're just going to set that aside. Now we're going to put our panels on the 2 doors for the gatefold. So 1 on each side on all 4. Okay, so let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so now once again, here's our card with the designer paper added. So it's coming together. All right, so now let's go ahead and do some punching. I'm going to be using the 1 3/4 circle punch. And like my birthday card here, let me show you that one again. Okay, so here's the one that I finished earlier. So you could actually punch windows out of all 4 of the panels, but I just took the 2 opposite each other. And I think I'm going to do this one and this one on this card today. So I'm going to use the 1 3/4 circle punch to punch the first circle punch out. This is going to create your window. Okay, so keep in mind that you're punching through 3 layers, the 2 pieces of designer paper and then also the Whisper White. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and use our other punches. I got the Starburst punch. And then for the stamping, we're going to punch the greetings out with the 1.5 inch circle punch. So let's go ahead and grab some Costa Cabana. I'm going to go ahead and punch out the 3/4 inch circle, which we just punched out on the card, remember? And then we're going to punch over here. You want to make sure you're leaving enough room because we're going to take the starburst punch and make a little frame for our windows. Just like that. So here's our frames. You could actually punch 4, one for the inside and one for the outside part of your panel if you wanted. I'm just going to do the 2. All right, so now let's grab some Whisper White. I'm going to do some stamping. Let me show you the stamps we're going to use today. For my birthday card, I'm going to use the Picture Perfect Birthday. This has always been such an amazing stamp set for myself. I just love all the greetings. I love the font. So, of course, I'm falling back to this stamp set. I just love it. So, Picture Perfect Birthday. And then for the front of the card, it calls for a celebration, and I'm using this stamp. It actually says this calls for a celebration. And then for another greeting of one of my little peekaboo windows, I'm using the perennial birthday. We're going to use Here's to Celebrating You. And of course I used a different stamp set. Actually, I think I used a couple different stamp sets for the one we made in the glitter pit yesterday. So you might want to check the link out below if you want to check out the version that we made yesterday live on Facebook in the glitter pit. All right, so let's go ahead and grab our Memento ink. And of course I'm going to go ahead and stamp this calls for a celebration. This I'm going to run through the Big Shot with my rectangle stitch framelits. And then this one says, Here's to Celebrating You. This is the perennial birthday. This one says, Treat Yourself. And this is from the Picture Perfect Birthday. We're going to use this greeting and this greeting for the punches. And then these are the 2 we're going to use for the inside of my card, which are from the Picture Perfect Birthday. All right, so let's grab our 1.5 inch circle to punch those out. Okay, these are going to get layered onto the Costa Cabana, the greetings. Okay, all right, let's bring in our card here. We're going to put our frame on, and I'm just going to attach these to the card with the snail. I'm just going to see which side looks better for the punch side. So this is the back side of the punch. Just like that. Then we're going to take our greetings, and I'm going to put this up here. Here's to Celebrating You, and this is going to fit right inside of that 1 3/4 circle punch, the punch out, because the Costa Cabana was punched out with the 1 3/4. So we're just going to put adhesive on the circles, and then this one's going to go down here. So when you put adhesive on the back, you can just lay your card flat on that panel, and then making sure the greeting is straight, then press it down through that punch out, and you'll get a perfect alignment when the gate is closed. And let's do this one. Same idea, close your panel and then put your Treat Yourself right there, and then you should open up your gate, and then it's a perfect alignment for your little peekaboo windows. For the stamping of the greetings here, we're going to close the opposite side of the panel to have an area where to stamp. So let me show you here. So let me grab the Memento ink again. Okay, so let's stamp. Today we celebrate wonderful, brilliant, fabulous you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up my stamp, but I'm going to kind of close this to get an idea of where to stamp my little extra greeting for the inside. So I'm just going to stamp it right about there. The reason you want to close your panel is because you don't want to actually stamp over, you know, the dividing part of your gatefold. At least that's what I'm thinking for my cards. Okay. So then when it's closed, you can see that there's no overhang, I guess. That's what I was going for. All right, so now this side we're going to do the exact same thing, but this time I'm going to stamp Happiest of Birthdays to You. And this is from that Picture Perfect Birthday. Okay, so we're going to close this and then stamp this one here. Okay, perfect. All right, now let's go ahead and get our Big Shot. Okay, so this calls for a celebration. I'm actually going to cut this down so I can cut my rectangle framelit with the Costa Cabana and the greeting all at the same time. All right, so let's go ahead and put that onto the Big Shot platform. And then I have another piece of Costa Cabana, and we're going to be using the rectangle stitched framelits. We're going to use these two sizes. This one fits perfect over the greeting. Just making sure that lines up. I'm going to put our Costa Cabana with the next size up in the rectangle. All right, so let's go ahead and run that through the Big Shot. Okay, so we got our Costa Cabana, and I love the stitched around that. It's so awesome. All right, and then this calls for a celebration. All right, so let's go ahead and move our Big Shot. So I also have a piece of Costa Cabana, and this is about 1/2 inch by 5, and I think it's by 5, but I'm going to trim it down once I put it onto the base. Get my scissors. I'm going to put some snail on the back side, and we're going to bring in some ribbon. This is the 5/8 polka dotted tulle ribbon, and there is a right and a wrong, I guess you can say. And the one side has the polka dots and they're fuzzy. And I want to add that side facing out, and it's got a little bit of a shine to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap this ribbon around that Costa Cabana strip that we just added to make it pop. Trim that off. And there's that. Isn't that cute? All right, now we're going to put this onto the base. This is the Costa Cabana. This is the 3 3/4 by 5. Okay. Then we're going to layer these pieces together. I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. This is going to go on the front, just like that. Then we're going to grab our little Bitty Blooms punch pack, and I've already got 2 of them already done with dimensionals, the mini dimensionals on the back side, but this is the Bitty Blooms punch pack, and this is the one we're going to use. So we're just going to take the Costa Cabana, and I'm just going to punch out, well, I've already punched out 3, but you'll need 3. And I'm going to take a mini dimensional, put it on the back side of the flower, peel off the backings, and we're just going to put the flowers along the edge, along the top of the greeting. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. I just want to make sure this is lined up. Didn't really press them down too hard. I just want to put them along the top, spacing them out just a little bit. That one's going to come over a little bit more. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now we're going to put this onto the base of the card. Just bring in the card again, making sure you're folding the card correctly so you're not putting your front layer upside down. Oh, and this is another thing. You're going to want to fold this and then take your bone folder and reinforce those score lines, because this is a lot of layers that this card is folding. So just a couple passes of your bone folder will be really helpful. Then we're going to take our front layer here and just put that right onto the front. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Now, one more thing I did do is I added some clear rhinestones to the flowers, and then a few scattered along the top as well. Just like that. Isn't that cute? All right, so here's the front again. Then you open it. Then you have your 2 peekaboo windows, and then your gatefolds open up like this, and then like this. Such a fun card. Love it. All right, let me show you the lemon lime twist one again. This is the exact same card. I just used the Gingham Gala designer paper for my designer paper instead of the How Sweet It Is. Isn't it adorable? So then here's the opening part. So cute. I love it. All right, so if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll have all the items listed below. And then don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any future videos. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.